I have a funny story for you.
I love funny stories.
We talked about this, open mics, and where you go and you do 5 minutes of material or whatever. I'm at an open mic. It's January, and everyone in the world has decided they want to be a stand-up comedian.
Okay.
And so it's like the gym. The open mics, the lists have gone from 10 people to 30.
That's fine. So people, as their New Year's resolutions are like, I want to start
I don't
finally
know if they're
doing
saying
stand-up
it out
comedy.
loud, but they're deciding it.
Is there a lot of people out there that want to be stand-up comedians?
Oh, yeah.
I guess there probably are, huh?
Yeah, I mean, comparatively, it's a very small community. Like, seriously, they're probably... I heard Nate Bargatze and Joe Rogan talking about this on a podcast. There's like maybe 200 to 300 comedians that are like headlining in the country. Wow. And that is not very much, right?
That's so few people.
And they were saying that like there might be 200 that could fill a room. Maybe. Yeah. So, but that's great. Yeah. Yeah. A lot of people want to be a comedian. There's a lot of people come through that just want like bucket list. Like, I always wanted to try it.
Yeah. It's fun. Yeah.
I sound angry. I'm really not. Like, I think it's.
Yeah. It's hard to fault somebody like that. That's just like, hey, I just want to do this and have fun.
I just always wanted to try it.
Yeah. That's great.
Yeah. But anyway, so the open mic lists are getting full.
Yeah.
And there is some, there are some unspoken rules about coming to an open mic.
Yeah.
One of those unspoken rules is just pay attention to who's on stage.
Sure.
Open mics happen in bars. And so there's a tendency to want to talk to the people around you.
Right.
But we're doing this so that people can see if their jokes work.
Yeah.
And so one of the unspoken rules is that you pay attention. There was a lot of people not paying attention this last week. And
sounds like you need to say that rule out loud.
I was going to say, I feel like that would be an easy thing to miss if it's in a bar.
I feel like you know what? The thing is,
I mean, these are comedy bars. I don't go to if I went to a restaurant and there was a musician playing, I'm usually more annoyed. And I'm not going to pay attention to the musician or the band that's playing.
So open mics typically happen on off nights, Wednesday.
Yeah.
Like not a lot of people are going to a bar on Wednesday.
Sure.
So bars have open mics so that people will come. So the comics will buy drinks and they will support. So typically the only people that are there are comics and their friends.
Yeah.
So it just, the host might say, hey, just respect the comic on stage. Yeah. And that's kind of meaning like, don't heckle them, don't yell at them.
Right.
So I can understand why you would say like, you kind of need to see that rule. And also if you're going, you would probably just notice like, oh, everybody's being quiet.
Sure.
So anyway, there was a group and they're being pretty loud. And I'm sitting there and they're standing right behind me just talking. They're talking so loudly, I can't hear the comic. And the comic is not getting like any response because you can't hear him.
Yeah.
And the mic is loud.
Yeah.
And so he does his set and I'm sitting there and I'm thinking it's a bucket list. So, they're just pulling the names from a bucket. And I'm like, please don't call my name. Please don't call my name. Because I did a show in Arkansas. So, but I jetted to get back to Tulsa so that I could go to that open mic because I wanted to try some jokes.
Yeah.
And so I'm tired.
Yeah.
And it's been a long day.
Yeah. Is this you setting up the excuses for your poor behavior?
Yeah. But I'm like, please don't, please don't call my name. Of course. Adam Bush. I'm like, okay.
Come on up here.
Yes.
Come on down.
Come on down. Yeah. So I go up there and I start to tell my joke and I'm like, I can't even. And the clock is ticking. Like 5 minutes is going down.
Yeah.
And I just stop and I go, I'm going to move the mic away. Let's go. Guys, for the love of God, can you please be quiet? And so I get like,
he's a real sweetheart.
Yeah, exactly. I've lost my cool at this point.
Yeah, right.
And I'm just like, and they're kind.
Were you saying like one of the biggest rules in comedy is for people to like you?
I did say that. Yeah. I have foregone those rules. And so they're not really being quiet.
Yeah. They're not even listening to you call them out.
That's what he really was saying. For the love of God, listen to me.
Yeah. Yeah. Kind of. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so they kind of get a little quieter or whatever. And I go, okay, you know what? I don't care if I get my time. I'm just looking out for the other comics. shut up.
Yeah.
Stop talking. And so people start clapping, which I don't like.
You didn't like that.
I didn't like that part.
Yeah.
I don't know why.
Why did you not like
I don't
that?
know.
It's affirmation.
I'm not
They're
a
all
hero.
thinking that you are.
That's what it is. I'm realizing it right now.
Okay.
This is comedy.
Yeah.
All right. No one's a hero. No one's saving the world. It's not like
Yes,
I'm like,
Adam,
hey,
our
listen,
hero.
give your money to these orphans. And then
Yeah.
everybody claps. Like
Right.
that, this is, it's an incredibly self-centered profession, and I'm mad about it. So they kind of clap and people are quiet, and then I'm just like, and I just say, all right, I don't know
What's
what
the deal with these cell phones?
I know
these
exactly.
days, huh?
Dating is hard. My toddler won't pee in the potty. It's at this point I'm just like, I don't know what joke I'm going to say.
Where do you
that's
go from
going-
there?
Yeah, that's gonna like. So anyway, so
So basically, you made a big scene to go, you guys shut up,
yeah,
pay attention, and then didn't really have.
I at that point
Something
I knew
is-
I'm not. This isn't. I'm not going to be able to use this time. So I'm just for my friends.
Yeah,
they could use it or whatever.
Yeah.
And so I tell like a couple jokes, and people do laugh, but I can't tell. I'm
Yeah.
like, I don't know if you're laughing because you just now you feel bad for me,
Yeah,
or
yeah.
you just whatever. And I was just like, okay. I was like, guys, I don't know if there's anything I can do. And the host yells, we'll give you 30 extra seconds, which is a pretty big deal. But I was like, okay, let me see. I'll tell one joke. And so I told one, I don't even know what the joke was. And it was fine. And I was just like, all right. So anyway, so I get off stage and I've lost my cool, and it's not cool. And then somebody gets up on stage and those people start talking again.
Yeah.
And I just go, guys, I'm still mad. I'm in the back now. But I was like, guys, be quiet. And the comic on stage just goes, no, let them talk. If they're talking during my set, that's on me. I can't keep their attention, which is just a dig at me.
You're right.
And I'm just like, that's bull crap.
I mean, there is some truth to that in a certain setting, but this was a different.
Yeah, if you were like in a club and like people aren't laughing or whatever, like, and they start talking, like, yeah, you lost them or whatever. This is quite a bit different. I mean, these people we're talking about, like, there are people trying to hear, and we can't because those people are so loud.
Yeah.
And so, yeah, it's silly. And so then so there's the whole thing with that. And then the next comic gets on stage and they're just like, first off, I want to say, Adam, mad respect. And I'm like, okay. Can we stop talking about me at this point?
Our hero.
So, yeah, our hero. So I tell you guys, so I've already told you guys the story.
Thank you for caring about the little people.
I know. Thank you. You know what? Thanks for taking comedy seriously.
Thank you for taking your place of power, holding the microphone,
right?
and helping others.
And at some dive bar in North Tulsa. So, Gary, what did you ask me when I told you when we were hanging out at Double Shot the other day?
I don't remember.
Okay, well, that didn't work out. So Gary said, all right, Adam.
Tell me what I asked.
Adam, if you're freaking out about something, you're, what's the...
Oh, the tired...
what's the acronym?
Hungry, angry, lonely, or tired.
Are you hungry, angry, lonely, or tired? And I was like, I was pretty tired, pretty angry. I was pretty lonely, and I was very hungry.
You took stage.
As I took the stage.
You were already in a terrible state of mind.
Yeah.
So
halt.
Halt.
Adam.
Yeah. So next time,
just halt.
Next time, you know what I do? Halt. Don't maybe yell at the open micers.
Hungry, angry.
So in
lonely,
hindsight,
tired.
How would you handle that situation if you were not hungry, angry, lonely, or tired?
Yeah, I thought about it. I did apologize to the host.
Yeah.
Yeah, because it's a big deal for a bar to open up a place that we could do that every week. And we've been doing this for years. And I apologized and just said I could have handled that better. And they were nice. They were like, well, they were being pretty jerky and they were very, very kind. Shout out.
Did you find out what the group was? The group not there for comedy? They were just.
You know what's amazing? Well, let me say this. Shout out to Laura and Brett who put on a great mic. So thank you so much. You're so kind. Also, the girl who was being loud in that group totally went up.
Oh, so she was a comic.
Well, it was like her second or third time. So she's one of the ones who I was saying was just trying it out.
Yeah,
yeah. As part of the New Year's resolution or whatever. I assume, because I hadn't seen them there before. But I could have, in a mature way, because I'm a 41-year-old man, just said something privately to them.
Mm-hmm.
That would have been better.
That may have been. Maybe that would have been better for everybody.
No, you probably don't realize this. We try to be real quiet.
Yeah.
During the.
Well, and even maybe a why that's important.
Yeah. Sorry, this is really important. I'm just practicing what I should have said for next time. I'm sorry, I can't hear him. I could have just said that. I'm sorry, guys, I can't hear the comic up to your mind.
Yeah.
Would that have been better?
I think it would have been a better start. That's typically the starting place, I would think, rather than on a stage.
Just yelling from stage.
Telling people to shut up.
Yeah.
I like to start there.
What's amazing about that mic, you can hear that open mic, you can hear the mic outside too on the patio, just in Tulsa. How amazing would that have been? Like,
just walking.
For the love of God, shut up in the back.
That guy's not very funny.
Oh gosh, there's so many amateurs working tonight.
It's true. It's not wrong. So it's not all glamorous, people.
Oh, hey, we're all growing.
We are
all different places.
Yeah. So, all right. Well,
yeah.
Everyone
I do know what that feels
knows
like.
how to handle it now.
To be on a stage holding a microphone and no one's listening to you.
Yeah.
It's very demeaning. Like it's.
Oh yeah.
You feel like you're putting yourself out there, and then people, I don't think they realize how that feels. When I was at this event, we've talked about this before, but like salads came out I was at a banquet. They served the salads right as I was starting my set. It was a mix-up. It wasn't supposed to happen that way.
A scheduling mix-up. Yeah.
I was supposed to go on after dinner, and it just got messed up. So I actually went on as dinner was being brought.
If you don't know, anytime something else is happening during the comedy, it is a recipe for disaster.
Yeah, it's not going to be good.
No, because you need the attention.
Yeah.
You at least need a chance at their attention.
Right. Yeah.
I mean, you can't compete with food.
You can't.
No,
you really can't.
Especially salads. That's the beginning.
Everyone's starving.
That's when they're the hungriest.
Yeah, and the crunching and and the mixing and the clanking of the silver.
Oh my word!
I mean, it's bad. So obviously I lost them before I even had them, basically, and then they could sense this is not like I think. I don't know, I feel like the back, there was just this swell of people that just like checked out and just started talking. So it was like this roar growing of people just like, and it kind of washed over the whole room. And I'm left just like trying to tell jokes while there's just like no one listening at all.
And that's a corporate event.
That was a corporate event.
You got to finish.
And even then I was like, I wish I would have handled it a little differently, because I kind of lost my cool and was just like, this is the weirdest event I have ever done in my life.
At least you said weirdest.
Yeah.
Instead of like worst or shut up in the back.
I guess that's true.
Yeah. I would say you did better.
I said, this is the weird. And I think I said, I'm going to do comedy here. You guys just do. You do what you guys
do dinner.
Do.
You do your
and then
there.
There was one table down at the front that was listening to me, and so we were just like, we're gonna do comedy,
private show.
You do what you guys want to
do.
But I felt I was a little snarky, and I'm like, I probably could have handled it better.
I forgot to tell you,
it hurts though. It's like it's just like
dude. Oh, it's incredibly vulnerable.
Yeah.
I think I'm good enough to stand up here and keep your attention, and I was obviously wrong. Yeah.
Anyway.
No, that's a rough deal. I forgot to tell you, during my whole thing where I'm yelling or whatever, when I started telling jokes, there a kind of a heated, an additional heated exchange began on the other side of the back of the room, because somebody had brought in alcohol, which you're not allowed to do in a bar.
Right.
And when the bartender said something to them, they responded in anger.
Yeah.
And they ended up getting dragged out, which the stage is right by the front door.
Oh my God.
So I'm just like, what is happening right now? And they were just like, we're sorry. Like the other guy was being nice, and he's like, sorry. I was just like, all part of the set, people.
It seems like you could have a really fun exercise of going, what if someone has a heart attack during your set? What if the mic goes out during your set? What if a drunk guy comes on stage and tries to punch you during your set.
Oh yeah.
You guys should think all this stuff through so that you don't make fools of yourselves again.
Yeah, that's true.
Said the one.
How am I-
Said the guy who never goes on stage. No scare.
What do I do if the whole audience just starts talking among themselves?
What do I do if they celebrate a widow?
Well, honestly, with my situation, I wish I had just said, "Oh no, I'm going to go up after dinner."
Yes,
That's what I should have done.
that would have been better.
I know. Instead, I was just like, "They're calling for me. I guess I got to just
I gotta
power
do
through."
it. Yeah.
And I came out of a world where it's like, yeah, you just like
Stick to the
there's
script.
stick to the script.
the
We've got an
schedule.
order of how this is going to go, and so
Oh, right. Yeah.
I'm just like, well, I don't want to screw everything up. But anyway,
All right. Welcome to the podcast. We got a good episode today. This is a fun one.
yeah,
So this story does not need to be repeated in its entirety, but most people know I started in stand-up 4 years ago this month.
hey, happy anniversary!
Yeah, it's my anniversary.
Are you going to celebrate?
Yeah, I'm going to go to Chipotle.
Perfect.
Hey, I like that. I like that idea.
That's a callback to a
That's
previous episode. Go back and listen to that episode. I started because I won a contest on Instagram to open for comedian Mike Birbiglia.
That's right.
On Broadway. That was the first time I did stand up. But that was for his show called The New One, which he was performing on Broadway. Previous to me winning the contest, myself, you,
Yes.
and Gary.
Gary, that's right.
We had already bought tickets to go see his show.
That's right. We were flying to New York
Yep.
just to go see the show.
It was going to be it was a big thing. We were treating ourselves.
That's
Treat
right.
yourself.
Reach yourself.
Treat yourself. Yeah. And it just happened to work out that I was opening for Mike on a Wednesday and
Yeah.
we were going to see him on a Friday.
on that same week.
That same week.
Yeah, it
Yeah.
was like 2 days later.
Yeah. So I did my thing on a Wednesday. Diana flew up there with me. We did it. We had a great time. Mike was awesome. Ira Glass was awesome. Mike's brother Joe.
Yes.
If you listen to Birbiglia's stuff, Joey Bag of Donuts.
Joey Bag,
Yeah, Joe Bags.
Joe Bags. There it is. Yeah,
Was there, and he was awesome. It's his brother and his writing
Super
partner.
nice.
Super awesome.
yeah.
So when I'm there, I said, "Hey, Mike, so Di flew home, and I went to the airport. She flew home. Like an hour later, you guys showed up.
We showed up.
Like on that Thursday or whatever, Friday. And so I got this extended time in
Yeah.
New York, and we bought sweet tickets, like the front row. You guys remember that?
yeah, we
Yeah.
were
We were on the front or second row.
Second row, maybe.
Second row, I think.
Right there.
Yeah, we were right
was
there. It was awesome.
Yeah.
Yeah. So on the Wednesday that I was there, I said, "Hey, Mike, my buddies are coming. We're coming to the show on Friday as well."
Yeah.
Which was cool because they shot for Netflix that day.
That's right.
Yeah.
Yeah. When we were there.
And he goes, "Hey, when you come back, we'll put your name at the door and you guys can come hang out backstage afterwards."
Yeah.
Which was something I got to surprise you guys
That
with.
was awesome.
Yeah,
I know,
which
it's
is
so awesome.
It was so fun.
I think it was like the most excited I've ever seen you. I remember we were in the hotel room and I was like, "I got a surprise for you." I videoed it. Yeah, I
You
videoed
did.
it.
Oh, that's funny.
And I was like, "We're going to meet Mike." And you're like, "Yeah." So that was awesome. Yeah. So anyway, we're going to talk about our experience of going to see Mike on Broadway, which is big fun thing that we all get to be a part of.
I do remember when you won, it was like we didn't know exactly when you were going to open, and we were hoping.
We were hoping we'd all be there.
we'd
together.
be able to see
Oh,
you.
yeah, that's right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Good.
And we've talked about this, but I actually told you about the contest. I said, because
You told me to-
it's
I
more
should-
acting.
Yeah, right.
And I was like,
yeah.
you should enter the contest.
Yeah, I thought about it for a while and then didn't do it, which everyone's shocked.
Chris didn't do it, but Adam did. That's surprising that he tried. So, but you were there whenever I won, when I found out that I won. So
Oh my gosh, I'll never forget that.
Yeah.
That's the most excited I've ever seen you.
Yeah.
Was you just let out this primal scream on the third floor.
it was. We were at work.
I think you jumped too
Oh, I
at one
jumped so
point.
much.
Yeah, like you
I've
jumped.
never felt that
I've never
excited.
seen Adam jump ever.
I got a
other than that
notification. I got a message on Instagram, and it just said, "Adam, you won."
night. Yeah.
And we were at work,
Yeah.
and Yeah.
Yeah, you just were like,
My dreams had come true.
that was great. We were all celebrating. It was
And I
wonderful.
didn't think I would win either.
I mean, there was like a 98.4% chance that you wouldn't
8.6,
have won.
I would say.
that I would win?
That you wouldn't.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was
Very-
slim odds.
Yeah.
And then they extended the thing, right? So
When they
it was like-
extended the
it's like you thought,
deadline,
I'm not going to.
I was like, oh, I definitely didn't win because I had submitted my video. I had submitted 3 videos.
I was going to say, you submitted 3.
I submitted the whole thing was do one of Mike's old sets and post it on Instagram, and he was going to pick his favorite one. And I submitted one of a puppet doing it.
Oh, okay. That one.
I submitted one.
You and Di did a song.
Di and I
That's what
wrote a
I
song.
remember,
We did that, and then I it kind of last minute the deadline day. I was like, Di, why don't you film me in the car? I'm just going to do it. right
Okay.
here." And that was the one.
That's the one that they.
That's the one that they chose. Yeah. I thought they would choose the song if I won.
I remember thinking the song was really funny, and
Yeah.
like I was like, "Oh, this is great."
Yeah.
They just didn't want to have to mess with miking up a guitar on the stage.
They were probably just like, 2 people? Oh, that's not too. Yeah. So that part's not interesting. The part I was going to say. But anyway, so we got to go to New York.
Yeah.
And it was at the Court Theater, which is just, it's actually called the James Earl Jones Theater now, but just off Times Square. The thing I remember, I don't know if you guys remember, but I remember realizing like, oh, it's really old and really small.
Mm-hmm.
Like, I don't know if you guys we're used to working in mega churches because it's like big and wide.
Yeah. Real big.
Well, it's on Broadway, so Broadway sounds a little more grand.
Yeah.
And so we roll up to it and like, oh, this is the is this the standard on Broadway?
Yeah.
I've been to a couple of different shows. The Court Theater is 1,100 seats, but it's because of New York, it's up.
Yeah.
And like there's balcony and a mezzanine.
Yeah.
I remember the director Seth Barish. Whenever I performed, when I rehearsed, he was like, "That's good, but you need to look up too." Mm-hmm. And that's not something I was used to.
Yeah, I don't think I've ever.
Yeah, and that is a weird thing. It's hard to connect with people way up there. So I remember being really old. Like I think I told you guys that like my dressing room, like the toilet was broken.
Yeah.
And I was just like, is this where the stars are going? Because it's not great. It looked like the whole place looked like it had been painted over about 5 times.
Yeah.
Instead of like sanded and painted or whatever. So then we do the show and we were so close. And then we went outside to the stage door and there were all these people waiting on Mike to like say, do you remember? You're looking
There
at
was
me
like different celebrities back there in a queue almost of going, they're going to talk to Mike first.
Oh, like when we went.
Yeah, who was the guy he's a TV actor?
Well, Liev Schreiber was there, but he does more than TV, but he's amazing.
Yeah.
But we saw him in the audience like, that's Liev Schreiber over there.
Oh yeah, he was.
Yeah, I saw him in the audience. Yeah.
I don't remember seeing him.
Yeah.
Yeah, so we go to the stage door and we gave him my name.
Yeah.
And like in front of all these people. So that was like super cool moment. Like all these people want to get in and she's like, how about Adam Bush? So we go backstage and we walk back there.
Yeah.
And I remember it feeling especially cool because there was like this backstage guy and he was there the night that I performed.
Yeah, so he already.
And so when I was like, hey, what's up, man? He's like, hey. I was just like, yeah, they remember me. Yeah.
Oh yeah, everybody was so nice to you, and everybody remembered you, and
it was very great, very opposite of what you expect from like Hollywood and New York or whatever. Everybody being so kind.
Yeah, it was really, really cool.
Yeah.
Well, I remember even in the show, Mike did one of his jokes.
Oh yeah, he gestured at you.
At Adam.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. It was something about being a Christian or something.
Yeah.
And then he like nodded at you or something.
Yeah. That came out pretty quickly. I'm a Christian.
Yeah.
So then we went backstage and we went onto the stage.
Yeah.
Everybody was gone except for the producers and Mike and other people. And it's kind of a whole thing. And the actors. And I remember we were right there by the Liev Schreiber.
Yeah, we kind of played it cool and stayed off to the side.
We were pretty cool.
Let everybody else talk to Mike.
We've been here before.
No, he's going to really want to talk to us. So we'll give everybody else their time.
We did wait a long time
Yeah,
so that
we
we
did
could have
kinda-
the most time.
Yeah. We kind of,
We earned it
yeah.
We earned it by,
waited.
going there.
Yeah.
backstage.
Yes, we waited. This is a fun fact. I don't think I've told you before. Mike's wife was there. And if having listened to Mike's stuff a lot, you hear a lot about his wife. And I was more starstruck to see her. And she left and I didn't say hi to her because I was too nervous because that's
that's
how I
fine.
get around celebrities or people like that.
People that know
So-
people.
Wives of celebrities.
Yeah.
But a few months later, I hosted an online Zoom. Mike and his wife, Mike and Jen, they wrote a book together.
Yeah.
And I hosted it on Zoom. Like
Yeah.
people could come and listen to him read the book or whatever. And before everybody came in, I told her, I was like, I've actually seen you before, but I was way too nervous to say hi. So that was a fun moment that I got to
Yeah.
say something.
What did
Sure,
she
she
say?
was flattered.
And she was like, "Oh, why were you nervous to talk to me?"
Mike, who is this guy?
Yeah. I was just like, that's just how cool I am.
Or was she that beautiful that you were just?
I think I was just, I don't know. There was just some, how I've talked about this ad nauseum. I get nervous around anybody that I'm like, oh, I would like to talk to them, but I can't do it.
One of my favorite memories of that night is taking our seats and then me and Adam going to get in line to the bar
Oh,
to
my
get
word.
a drink and a snack. And Adam is in front of me. And Adam orders like a gin and tonic and some Pringles.
Yeah.
And it was $36.
No,
No, it was more than that.
No, it was like 43.
Yeah. It's
Oh,
in the 40s.
mine must have been $36
Yeah.
because I was like, I'm not getting a snack after I saw how much yours was.
It was
I just
ridiculous.
remember, it's just this little kind of thing of Pringles, which I thought was an odd pairing
was-
to the alcohol.
I was so hungry
And
for
then
some
you're
reason.
just like, this cost me $46. I was like,
It was so, I was like, oh, this is where they're making the money. I remember I told somebody about that who was from New York, and they're like, yeah, you put stuff in your pocket. You don't buy it there. That's
I guess it's like going to the movie theater and buying candy.
But
like,
good
no one
Lord.
does that.
Yeah.
Good Lord.
Yeah.
$50? That's insane.
You're in line, and I'm not going to back out of line. No
Yeah.
matter how much. If it would have been $50, I still would have paid for it. I wasn't going to go,
Oh, yeah.
oh, forget it.
Yeah, that's
I
very shameful.
felt like
oh,
an
that's
idiot.
too much. No, thank you.
Yeah. I remember I did not tell Diana how much it
Yeah,
was just because I was just like, that's
that's
embarrassing.
But I remember also sitting in the seat going, I probably look like an idiot either way that I paid this much for 3 sips.
Oh man, the markup. Good
Oh,
night.
you got to be kidding me! It's highway robbery.
Well, got to pay him.
So, one of the big things that I've always felt about the whole Broadway experience is I really felt like everybody was going to be pretty standoffish or rude
Or busy.
or what?
Busy. Just
Or bit.
hustling
Yeah,
back there.
Yeah, busy.
Yeah.
Like I thought especially since I came from the church world is not like highly esteemed when it comes to art,
Sure.
typically.
Or production.
Or production. Yeah. I mean, like Christian movie, it's typically like
Yeah.
you don't think very highly of it. So I assumed when I got to performing with Mike and Ira that they would just be like they just wouldn't be very encouraging and would kind of just be like, I mean, the whole thing's a marketing ploy. That's why they had the contest.
Yeah.
But man, I was just, I've talked about this a lot. I was so wrong.
Yeah. Yeah.
They were so nice
Yeah.
and so encouraging. And I remember Seth Barish, who's a great actor and he's Mike's director on all of his stuff. He goes, when I did my first rehearsal, he said, if you do it like that, it'll be perfect. It'll be great. However, don't forget about the balcony. That's when he said that. That was the night that I performed. But that was amazing. But what was even crazier is when the three of us went the following Friday, 2 days later, right after Mike performed, when it was our turn to go talk to him, the first thing he said was, great job, man.
Yeah.
And I was like, me?
Yeah.
I didn't even perform tonight.
Yeah. 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 Yeah.
And so I think I said to him, great job, me.
Yeah.
Great job, you.
Yeah. Yeah.
You did great.
Yeah.
And that really stuck with me.
Yeah.
That somebody would be so kind
Yeah.
and encouraging.
Yeah. Yeah. So we got to talk with Mike I feel like we talked for like 20 minutes at least. I don't know. I feel like we stood there for a long time. And then Joe showed up,
Yep.
who was super cool, super fun. And, so yeah, we talked about all kinds of stuff. What did we talk about? Politics. We talked about
God.
We talked about God. We talked about the environment.
Environmental issues.
Yeah. It was just a great conversation. But
I remember at one point
we're standing there right in the middle of the stage, which was just kind of surreal too. Like that's where we ended up just like pooling up like right in the middle of right on the front of the stage, just right there. And it was just a beautiful view into the theater or whatever.
Oh yeah, we took a picture.
Took a picture with him.
There was a professional photographer.
Yeah,
there.
she was really cool. We got to hang out with her for a little bit.
Yeah, which was really I mean, she took pictures whenever I performed.
Yeah,
I still use those pictures.
Yeah,
because they're so good.
Yeah.
I remember just thinking the whole time, any minute now, Mike's gonna be like, "All right, well, cool, I gotta go."
Exactly.
And then after we took the picture, I thought, now he'll be like, I got to go. And we still talked.
Yeah.
And I just thought it was so kind. It made me think about Dustin Nickerson is a amazing comic, and you should listen to him if you like comedy, and especially if you're into clean comedy. He told me one time, he was like, the connecting after the show is as important as the performance. Because if you connect with someone who, like, whether they buy something or they just want to come by and say, great job, like they'll remember you and they'll keep listening to you. And like, that's a fan. And when Dustin said that to me, I thought, oh, that's like, Mike has gotten really like this is just a part of who he is.
Yeah.
Like, he's just like, everybody is valuable. And it was incredibly genuine, I thought.
Yeah, I did too. Yeah.
Yeah.
I never felt like he was like trying to get rid of us. Like,
no.
And I think we were trying to kind of get rid of ourselves, maybe feeling like, I don't want to impose.
Yes.
But he was just like so inviting and so kind. You're like, is he really enjoying this conversation?
Yeah.
Or is he being not? Yeah, it was kind of, but then like, basically we kind of closed up shop with him. Like he's like grabbing his stuff out of his office and we're just like chatting and like, he's asking questions and it's just really, I feel like maybe we went out in front of him.
I think we went out in front of him. Everybody was waiting at the stage,
That's right.
the backstage door.
Yeah.
And we were just like, all right, see you next time.
Yeah, it was awesome.
See you next time. It's awesome. See you next time you're on Broadway and we're here with you as well.
Well, I think about how it made me feel as, being just a person who enjoys Mike's work, to be treated like that. Like to me, that inspires anybody. It inspires me to treat anybody that I come in contact with the same way. Like I just love that he was asking us questions and like,
very inquisitive.
He seemed very genuinely interested in our perspective on things. And, I know we talked about church and stuff and we were all, a part of a church at that time. And so I'm sure that was interesting to him because he was working on some stuff kind of in that same genre, I think. But at any rate, it just felt like, he really was interested in us, and it was just really meaningful. So it's like I want to take that into any opportunities I have if I'm meeting people. I mean, even now, like I happened at the coffee shop the other day. There's people that are recognizing me from stuff. So I just I want those moments to be really special for people, and to not, again, for it to be anything about me, but to be like an opportunity to serve other people. And I don't know, it just feels good when people see you.
Yeah. I think one of my big takeaways was experiences are so much better with your friends. It just is so.
Oh yeah.
I mean, it would have been cool to. Yeah. It would have been cool if I had that experience on my own.
Yeah.
But it means so much more to me that you guys were there.
Yeah, that's right.
And that we got to share that, and that we left and we had this shared experience where all you could say, I mean, you could just say like, dude, wasn't that awesome? That was awesome.
Yeah,
like you felt it, you know? And like, that's why it was so important for me to take Diana to the performance, because I wanted to experience it with her versus like, oh man, it was really cool. And then I come back and tell you about it.
Yeah.
What fun is that?
Yeah.
It's not fun for anybody.
Yeah.
So I think that's really important. To just go out of your way to make sure your friends are part of your experience. And then the other thing that I think I've learned as a comic, having that experience with Mike, is just like this whole thing is so fragile as a performer. No one's got to listen to you.
Yeah.
Like they could go find somebody else.
Totally.
And so be grateful. Like it reminds me that even at Mike's level, he's made it.
Oh yeah.
He's done it. He's had 2 Broadway shows. By all accounts, he is a fully successful stand-up comedian. And he still appreciated one person who would go out of their way to be a fan. And I think that's important to remember.
I was just thinking of, I'm really not interested in shows. I don't go to concerts or I don't do that stuff except with you guys. Like we've been to, we saw Mike in Denver once, and then we saw To Kill a Mockingbird on Broadway. But those are like, that To Kill a Mockingbird is like one of the top 5 like highlights of my life of like experiences of like, that was such a memorable thing. Yeah. But just to go, I need to go out and experience things like that, like see concerts and see comedians and plays and stuff, because there's always, I have never been disappointed with it. Even seeing Wolfmother at Cane's here was amazing. With my buddy Romulus, that we used to rock to those guys in the car.
That's so funny.
In high school. And so about 10 years ago, we went and saw relived a teenage dream. It was amazing.
That's I believe in a thing called love.
Yeah.
Yeah. Okay. It actually makes me think of, this is a good like rounding out theme for the podcast. Since we've started this podcast, Chris and I have been asked to be on a lot of podcasts.
Oh, sure.
Which is, we did one yesterday. And one of the questions the guy asked was, how have we stayed friends? And Gary, you'll be proud to know that we said, well, we're missing a friend.
That's right. This is a trident.
This is, a trident. Well, we called it a trinity.
I think we did call it Trinity.
Yeah. And because the 3 of us are legit best friends and do life together on so many fronts. Even though we all have different, I'm in a different season of life because I've got a younger kid and one on the way, and your guys' kids are older and they're in high school and stuff like that. Like we have been very intentional to stay connected. And the guy was just asking like, what's the key to friendship? And I was like, oh, well, that's weird. I've never been asked that question before. But answering it has made me think a lot about it and just how thankful I am for you guys.
Yeah.
And I thought what you said yesterday at the podcast was really helpful. You said it's not complicated to be friends, but it is hard because you have to make an effort, especially, I mean, we're all in our 40s, 40-year-old dudes being friends.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, we meet every Monday morning.
Yep.
And that, I mean, I don't always feel like doing that.
I rarely feel like doing it.
Yeah,
it's
exactly.
at 7:30.
It's super early. It's just like,
it's close to me, but it's really far for you guys.
It's farther for me. I'm always driving there going, what the heck? Why are we doing this so far away? But it's worth it to me. It's it's a small price to pay to make sure that we continue to be involved in each other's lives and know what's going on. And I feel like we're pretty different people.
Yeah.
Personality wise. And so it's like, how does it work? I don't know how it works. I feel like that's what I was saying. Like, it's not, I don't know. It's not like we don't have some secret of how to make our personalities work together. It's like, it's just,
I think some of it
being involved
is
in vulnerable
shared experiences. We've had a lot of those.
Yeah, that's true.
Like doing this podcast is a shared experience. Doing our, critical mornings on Mondays.
That's what we call it.
That's what we call it. Oh,
critical.
yeah.
We've been doing that. We have been meeting up on Mondays for 2 years.
Has it been? I think it's been 3.
Has it been 3?
I think it'd be 2 because I've only been back for 2.
Okay, 2 years.
2 years.
Okay.
Feels like 3.
Feels like 18.
Yeah, but that is the thing. It's like, well, we don't always feel like it, but we're glad we did. And even if we're not glad for us, but we're glad for somebody else that needed to talk about something.
Yeah, totally.
Yeah,
Celebrate something.
And sometimes I go, and I didn't really, I don't know, I didn't feel like I got much out of it, or sometimes we don't have a lot to talk about.
What are you saying?
I don't want you to be in the group. Shout out to our friends Andrew and John, who are also in the group.
Yep.
But the fact that it is regular, it's a regularly scheduled thing that we're going to do this.
Yeah.
Helps me, because there have been times where I didn't realize that like something was like going on internally, and it came out in the group. Yeah. Even for Gary, like the other day, to say, like if you listen to the other podcast where I said that I snapped at a bunch of audience members in the open mic, for him to say like, what's going on, man? Why are you, it has made me think a lot. I am pretty tired. Like I've just been running kind of pretty hard, and that stuff only comes out if like you have a mirror.
Right.
And for me, that mirror is you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. We all need it. That's the thing. It's we all need people in our lives who can lovingly point out things that's like, hey, you're struggling with this, I can tell. If you see a Brahms cup in my car, Adam,
oh my God.
know.
You have to tell people that story.
Oh, have we talked about this before?
I don't think we've ever mentioned that
talked
before.
about it. Yeah. Should I tell it right now? Is it too long? Okay.
It's not that long.
I guess, I'm trying to think of like the backstory, but basically there was once where you
were giving me a ride to the airport.
That's right. Yeah. I was giving you a ride to the airport.
This was before Adam had a second car.
Oh my word.
Car.
Oh.
Adam needed another ride to the airport.
Hold on. Even if I have a second car, I still need a ride to the airport. I don't want to pay
That's
for
beside
parking.
the point. That was just a good joke.
and I had a Brahms cup. If you don't know what Brahms is like a ice cream and dairy store.
It's good.
But it's like ice cream and burgers, and it's like one of my favorite fast food burgers. But whenever I'm in a healthy place in my life, my eating is usually under control, but there are times where my eating gets out of control. And you saw I had a Brahms cup and like you paused and were like, Are you doing okay?
I made a joke.
Oh, did you? Okay.
I did.
Yeah.
It was so large. It was hard not to focus on it in your car, for one. It's like one of those cups where like the bottom has to be small enough for the cup holder, and then it gets bigger.
Yes.
So
horrible.
I remember
Muffin top
saying,
cup.
what's going on here?
Oh, that's funny.
And you laughed, and then
Just burst into tears.
and then I said, no, but seriously, what's happening?
Yeah, I was gonna say, I remember you kind of like bringing it to a serious point, and I was just like,
it's funny, Gary, you're laughing about bursting into tears, but you did cry.
I did cry. Yeah. I honestly can't, as I'm sitting here, I don't remember what was going on in my life, but I remember like,
I think you were, I think I remember whatever the season in life was, you were feeling discouraged.
Yeah, I think I was pretty discouraged.
Yeah.
And I was just probably pretty down. And one of the things that I turn to when I get discouraged is food.
Oh, me too.
And so, it was just, I think you just kind of caught me unexpectedly in a moment of weakness and just kind of called it out in a loving way. And I just remember it was moving to me because I felt seen and I felt loved. And it was just a special moment, even though like you're about to get on a plane and but it was just for someone to be like, I can tell you're not doing great is what it felt like.
And tight friendship is required to see a cup.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. My friend Courtney Weston, me and Diana live right next door to two other friends, Jordan and Courtney. We're all in this season, the same exact season of life. Our girls are about the same age. And we get together every Sunday night. So Sunday night with them and then Monday morning with you guys. And Courtney asked me the other day, what's going on with that empty box of nerds in your car? And it was the same thing.
Yeah.
I said, oh, it's fine. She goes, but seriously, what's going on with it?
Yeah.
And she knew I go to candy, man.
Yeah. Yeah.
If something's like real hard. So shout out to Courtney for calling me out.
Yeah.
I think not just me, but I think everybody's wanting to know, Chris, did you finish your drink?
Wasn't it already gone?
I think it was empty.
I think it was an empty cup.
That's a solid 32-ounce cup that's empty.
Was it a milkshake or just a Coke?
I'm guessing. I don't remember, but it was probably a milkshake with a burger. Like I typically
would
get like
Brahms
a Brahms burger, and then you get a shake.
That's the Last Supper right there.
Yeah.
All right, Adam.
Well, this story was going to be
Good
about
3,000 calories probably.
Oh, dude, at least. Yeah. Gary lived in Denver for a long time, and we stayed connected. Honestly, there was seasons in there where I was like, I don't even feel like Gary lives in Denver anymore. We talk as much. But I don't know if you remember this, Gary, but this would have been maybe 6 or 7 years ago. But I told you a secret, and you told someone, and I was mad.
I remember that.
You do. I would think he told you. That might not be true.
I can't remember. I just remember there was some
because
tension.
you and I were talking about moving to LA.
We were talking about moving to LA, but
I think you were like heavily leaning towards that.
Yeah.
And I said something to Chris, not that I was alluding to that in a way. I said, I think they'll move, or I said something like that to Chris.
That's funny.
Yeah.
And then
I was so mad at Gary that I wouldn't take his calls. It's silly to think about now, but but this is the moment. I think about this all the time. Gary either left me a voicemail, or maybe I answered the phone, or he left me a text, but he said, Adam, I care about this friendship so much, I'm willing to fight for it. And I think too often, friends and family will write each other off when they get angry, instead of walking through something like that and just facing hard experiences or conversations. And Gary was willing to do that, and he was willing to push it. Like, it wasn't just like two people who were saying they were going to do. Like, I didn't want to. I thought, Gary's in Denver, maybe I'll never see him again. That's how angry I am at him. And for him to do that, and us to walk through it, and for him to, however, I don't know how we ended, how we resolved the situation, but like from that moment on, I felt closer to Gary, because I'm like, we got through that.
You
and
through it.
if there was another thing, I know we'll get through that too, because I have that to lean on. And I think people should do that. And I think that's what you should take away from this podcast. Friendship is important.
Yeah.
And it's hard.
Sometimes you have to admit you're wrong and that you screwed up.
and it's hard to accept it too.
Yeah.
It's hard to forgive people. So I think that Gary said, I'm really sorry. And at some point I had to be like, well, I forgive you, and I'm going to trust you again.
Yeah.
And look at us now.
Look at us now.
With a hit podcast.
Rising the charts.
Yeah. I think I'm gonna name this episode Three Best Friends Go to Broadway.
Go to New York. Guys trip.
Yeah. All right. Do we have
Isn't it just a bromance? I mean,
a bromance on Broadway? A Broadway bromance.
A Broadway bromance.
I saw something recently that it was all about. Oh, it was on Wrexham. There was like an episode. Do you guys know what I'm talking about? Wrexham?
No.
We Are Wrexham. It's Ryan Reynolds and Rob McElhenney.
Okay.
Oh, is this where they bought a
soccer
team?
club?
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Yeah, but there's a whole episode about their bromance of how, even just to say there's no term like this for girls, but for guys we have to have a bromance to kind of ease that men can be friends.
Oh, interesting.
So it's like there's this whole like, I don't know, just this pressure of like having friends as men that is awkward.
Yeah. Well, they talk about, saying it's really hard to say I love you to a guy, like texting I love you, Gary, I love you. It feels really weird. So you have to say like I love you, pal, or I love you.
I love you, dude.
I love you, dude.
Yeah.
Bro.
Or I love you.
Love you.
I love you. It's interesting.
I know that makes me feel awkward thinking about just sending that to either of you.
I'm going to send that to you guys as soon as this is over.
Chance I'm getting that. Text. Yeah. All right. Hey, I wanted to say a big shout out to, I got a comment this week on our podcast from our friend Joy Abide.
Joy. My goodness.
I can't wait to come up and see you guys this summer.
Oh yeah. They live up
in Jackson, Wyoming.
Yeah. Yeah, Joy and Isaac and I were real close before we all had kids, and they were married. I wasn't married yet. We used to hang out all the time. And then they moved up there to Jackson Hole. Is that what you said?
Yeah, Jackson, about the same time we moved to Denver.
Okay. And anyway, she texted me the other day, and apparently she found out that Di and I were pregnant from this podcast, which was awesome.
Oh.
Podcast is really helpful if you want to give your friends information.
There you go. Yeah.
You just put it here and hope they listen to it.
And then you find out who your true friends are. If
then
they're
you
actually
find-
listening.
Now, this is an investment
should have known
to,
this.
to keep up with your friends. I mean,
Yeah,
to
that's
listen to, how long are these things? Like 30 minutes?
30 to an hour.
They're supposed to be 30 minutes.
They're supposed to be.
They
We've
end
been
up
getting along with it.
like an-
But yeah, she said she's been listening. So hello,
That's all.
Joy.
Hey,
Hi,
Joy.
Thanks for listening to the pod.
She's awesome.
And that concludes this episode.
See you, everybody.
Oh my gosh.
Goodbye.
Can we say it the right way? All right. If you
If you want to find, if you
calm down.
Ugh.
If you thanks for listening to the podcast. The best thing you can do is to go on Apple Podcasts or wherever you listen to the podcast and like it, subscribe to it, and leave us a review. That's really helpful.
Yeah, it is very helpful.
Folks who have left us.
Can we leave ourselves a review?
That's a good
Yeah.
idea.
I mean, it's not going to hurt, right?
Yeah, leave us don't make a jokey review like my brother Casey did. Yeah, that
say?
it said sounds like this guy has daddy issues.
Oh, I thought he was the guy that loves biscuits.
Wasn't that your son? I thought that was your son Brady.
I think my girls commented on there.
They commented on the YouTube. They said
okay.
on the YouTube on our YouTube episode an episode that we had on YouTube where they just said these two guys I can't get enough of them or whatever. Yeah. So yeah, and share it helps us a lot if you share it on Instagram or Facebook or wherever you share things. You can follow me on Instagram and TikTok at Hey Adam Bush, and you can also subscribe to my newsletter, heyadambush.com. Go to my website and you can find out about shows. And if you got a show that you're putting together and you're looking for a comic, then hit me up.
That's
and then you, Chris.
I'm Chris Munch. If we haven't covered this information already.
Oh my gosh.
Such a
Chris Munch Comedy.
self-promoter.
If you have some ideas on what you would like to hear us talk about,
Oh yeah.
you could throw that in the comments as well.
Yeah,
If you have any
yeah.
questions for us or something that we could talk about in future podcasts,
Yeah.
we'd appreciate that. But thanks so much, seriously, for hanging with us and listening. And we love you guys.
Yeah. Oh, but I was going to say this. And then people have been commenting on our graphics and like our video and how like nice it is. And that's all Gary.
Gary.
Yeah.
Garbo.
And so if you need graphics or video for whatever you're doing, then you can hit us up and we'll give you,
Message Adam or Chris.
and you can get Gary's contact. We take a hot 10% off the top.
That's right. Just a clean 10.
Yeah. No, but seriously, yeah, Gary will make it for you. So that's it. All right. I love you.
And remember, risk it for the biscuit. Is that how we wanted to end it?
Yeah, that was perfect.
Now!
Goodbye.